sacrifice to make sure that it happens, right? And so, how many of you, this is a Time magazine cover, how many of you are familiar with the tragedy in Ferguson? Familiar? So, somebody stand up and tell me about it. Those of you who said you were familiar, I just need one of you to stand up. Tell me about it. Just one of you, yeah, just one of you. I just need one of you. One of you that held your hand up. Okay, go ahead, brother.
All right.
Stand up. What's your name? So that everybody knows who you are.
I'm JJ. It is about, well, they were trying to get justice for a wrong killing of a black youth in the streets that everybody saw, and then they tried to rally together for justice, and I guess the police were treating it as more of a riot act instead of a unity thing.
Okay, excellent. So, roughly 6 weeks ago, Mike Brown, young black male, was gunned down in the streets by one police officer. And so the response of the African American community was, we need to do something about it. And so every day since then, they've been protesting peacefully. And so initially there was an assumption that because they were African American, something was going to pop off, right? There'd be cars getting turned over, windows getting knocked out, none of which happened. But the community, the police, were armed, came out, maced people, arrest people, face down on the ground. And so they are currently having their own small civil rights movement in Ferguson. I didn't even know what Ferguson was until he got killed, right? And so last night, some of you were there last night, I had a shirt on that said, "Don't shoot." I told, there's a college group, and we'll talk about it a little bit later in this slide, named the Dream Defenders. And the Dream Defenders are young college kids your age. They have 7 chapters, and they are, because Trayvon Martin died, they were created. And so they're doing social justice types of things. And the shirt that I bought was $20. And so they had it was a fundraising event for the Trayvon Martin Fund. And they might have raised like $22,000 in like 3 weeks. And so if you didn't get one, didn't get one. And so these are my discourse agreements. Exhibit integrity, be respectful, listen, agree to disagree, be honest while listening, everyone participate, avoid invalidating experiences, there are multiple realities, speak without silence in the conversation, speak for yourself, not others, think quickly before speaking, embrace teacher moments. Going fast because y'all came to me late. So I got an icebreaker exercise. When I read what's on the slide, if it applies to you, stand up, right? First one. I'm originally from the South. If you're from the South, stand up. Oh, got one? It's me and one other person. Okay, next one. I'm a person who likes staying up late. Okay, got a couple, have a seat. Next one is, I was raised by my grandparents. Okay, got one. I've never had an African American professor. Never had. Okay. Well, for those of you who never had, you're going to learn today. I'm your African American professor.
I don't even think so.
The next one is, one of my parents has a college degree. Just one?
Just one or?
Yeah, just one. If one has one. If one has one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Next one is, I vacationed in Africa. Okay, I'm jealous of everybody that's standing right now. Okay, good to see. I'm a 3rd generation college attendee. That means your grandparents have a college degree. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. That's great to see. Have a seat. English is the only language I speak. The only language.
This is a workout.
I feel sorry for y'all.
What are you talking about? Fluent?
Have a seat. Yeah, if you don't speak it fluently, you don't speak it. I can speak about 6 languages, right? But after hello and I'm not feeling too well, where's the taxi? Yeah, it bleeds out. I want you to attend graduate school after you graduate from college. Okay? Okay. The next one, I love being black, for those of you who are. Okay. I have to work in order to pay for college. Have to work. Okay.
Just stay standing.
Then the last one, I have a cell phone that costs more than $300.
They don't cost $300.
Look at him. Just a balloon.
I was like,
Have a seat. I should have had a caveat that said my parents paid for it too. Yeah. Should have
It's
that.
on a discount, so.
So I'm gonna start with this question. I want y'all, a couple y'all jump in. How do students empower themselves to reach personal, cultural, and educational emancipation? In other words, how do you empower yourselves to be free? Right? And so as it relates to personally, I know I've talked to several students. Some black students talk about can't wear my hair a certain way, can't dress a certain way, can't speak a certain way when certain people are present, right? And so I have to adapt myself. I have to adjust to make them more comfortable. And so in what ways, personally, culturally, or educationally, are you working to emancipate yourselves? Go ahead. You got Jana? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that limitations are often self-imposed. A lot of times we feel because we are this way and we are, surrounded by a whole bunch of, Caucasian people that we have to culturally assimilate, but that's not necessarily always true. I mean, there's time and place for everything. We need to understand that, but knowledge is power, and so the more we educate ourselves, I think the freer our thoughts become, and therefore our bodies follow that.
Okay, somebody want to add to that? Somebody want to add to that? When I first started growing my hair out, somebody was like, "It's not a good look for a professor. You don't need to have locks. You need to rock a ball fade, or get a part, get a Caesar." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean that's my hair is my I control my body, right? And however I want to present it, I feel like I can. I'm not less professional because I have locks. So think about that." Next question. What are you willing to sacrifice in order to assure the enactment of social justice? What are you willing to sacrifice?
Can you define social justice?
Oh, we're going to get to that. But since you brought it up, how do you define social justice?
I don't know. That's all I ask. I really don't. How do you define social justice?
Anybody want to jump in? How do you define social justice?
That's a tough word. I don't know.
Go ahead.
Equally rights for everyone.
Equal rights for everyone. Okay. Someone else.
But justice is not always right.
Justice is not always right. Okay. Social justice, how do you define it? Go ahead.
I don't think money should be able to buy social justice, and I feel a lot of times in the United States, and especially the justice system, that the more money you have, the more justice you can buy.
Yeah.
And so social justice would mean, even though the Constitution says that we all have equal rights, right? But justice doesn't necessarily put those in place. So social justice would be, following through with those on an equal level for every single person. So we all have the same opportunities, despite opportunities to receive justice, despite what our socioeconomic situation is.
Okay. So let's just step back 50 years, right? So 50 years ago, African Americans could buy property. We go to the military, we get killed for America, but we couldn't vote, right? That was the law of the land. That was socially unjust. So you could give your life, but you couldn't determine who the president was, right? And so there were people, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Huey P. Newton, they died. They was willing to sacrifice their lives in order to have access to all of America. So again, I pose a question. What are y'all willing to do to sacrifice? What are you willing to sacrifice to make sure that you have social justice? And keep in mind, it's not just about you, right? And so for your children, I would die to make sure that my children have access. I don't want somebody saying to my kids, well, you can't go here. We can take your tax dollars, yeah, but you can't do X, right? So just think about it. I know y'all kind of young. Y'all probably thinking, hey, I might could get up early to go march for a little bit. I sacrifice some sleep. I know y'all thinking about that, but think about it further out. 10 years from now, y'all will be in professional positions, making decisions. Some of you be married with children, and you may have a different perspective when it's not just about you, about what you're willing to sacrifice. I want to show this clip, and then on the backside we're gonna talk about it.